Hey, Kipsters! Welcome to Read Aloud. Yesterday, you worked so hard to think about what was the same about two stories that we've read. We looked at Anansi the Spider and the story of Ferdinand, and we thought about how were those two books the same. Let's review what we found out. Both characters go home. They both felt happy to be home, and they are both animals. Now, that was pretty tricky because these books are like so different. So it was kind of hard to think about how they were the same. Today is going to be a little easier because we're going to think about what is different. What is? Different means not the same. It means. So today we're going to read a little bit of each book and we're going to think about, how is that different from the other book? When we read the story of Ferdinand, we're going to write down all of the things that are different in the red spot that doesn't overlap. And when we read Anansi the Spider, we're going to write down what is different in the blue circle that doesn't overlap. So let's get started. We're going to read a part of the story of Ferdinand today that talks about why Ferdinand left home. And I want you to think about, why did he have to leave? Oh, this is my favorite part. He didn't look where he was sitting, and instead of sitting on the nice cool grass in the shade, he sat on a bumblebee. Well, if you were a bumblebee and a bull sat on you, what would you do? You would sting him. And that is just what this bee did to Ferdinand. I love his face in this picture. Wow, did it hurt? Ferdinand jumped up with a snort. He ran around puffing and snorting, butting and pawing the ground as if he were crazy. The 5 men saw him and they all shouted with joy. Here was the largest and fiercest bull of all, just the one for the bullfights in Madrid. So they took him away for the bullfight day in a cart. Now, Kipsters, Ferdinand just had to leave home. Why did he have to leave home? Why did Ferdinand have to leave home? You got it. Ferdinand had to leave home because when he sat on the bee, he looked strong and fierce and tough, and the men thought he would be great for fighting in the bullfights. Is that the same as what happened in Anansi? Let's find out. Anansi. He is Spider to the Ashanti people. In Ashanti land, people love this story of Kwaku Anansi. Time was, Anansi had 6 sons. First son was called Sea Trouble. He had the gift of seeing trouble a long way off. Second son was Road Builder. Thirsty son was River Drinker. Next son was Game Skinner. Another son was Stone Thrower. And last of sons was Cushion. He was very soft. All were good sons of Anansi. One time, Anansi went a long way from home, far from home. He got lost. He fell into trouble. So, Kipsters, why does Anansi leave home? Yeah, he just wants to go on an adventure or go on a walk. Is that the same as why Ferdinand leaves home? Does Anansi sit on a bee and be taken away to a bullfight? No. Put your X's up. That's different. All right, I need to write that on our Venn diagram so we don't forget why they both left home, because that's the big part that's different. In the story of Ferdinand, Ferdinand leaves home because the men who have the bullfight think that he's going to be a tough fighter. The men think Ferdinand will be a good fighter. Now that's different from why Anansi leaves home. Anansi leaves home because he wants to go for an adventure or go for a walk. Anansi goes out for a walk adventure. That is not the same, so we put them in different circles so that it can tell what's special or true about one book. Okay, now we're going to think about something different. Now, when we read, we are going to think about how they get home, right? Because they both leave home and they both have to get back. And we're going to think about, how do they get back home? So, when Ferdinand went to the bullfight, something happened, right? You guys know what happened. Sorry, my friends. Thank you for being patient with me. So Ferdinand was in the ring, and they wanted him to fight, right? He was in the middle of that ring. When he got to the middle, he saw the flowers and all the lovely ladies' hair, and he just sat down quietly and smelled. He wouldn't fight and be fierce, no matter what they did. He just sat and smelled, and the bandoleros were mad, and the picadores were madder, and the matador was so mad he cried, because he couldn't show off with his cape and sword, so they had to take Ferdinand home. Who takes Ferdinand home from the bullfight? Yeah, those men. That's how he gets home. Now, is that the same as Anansi, or is that different? We're going to think about how Anansi gets home. Road builder's son said, "Follow me." Off he went, making a road. They went fast, those 6 brothers, gone to help Anansi. Where is father now? Fish has swallowed him. Anansi is inside fish. River drinker took a big drink. No more river. Then game skinner helped Father Anansi. He split open the fish. More trouble came right then. Falcon's coming. It was Falcon, took Anansi up in the sky. Quick now, stone thrower. The stone hit Falcon. Anansi fell through the sky. Now Cushion ran to help father. Very soft, Anansi came down. They were very happy, that spider family. Wait, how does Anansi get home? Think about what we just read. How does he get home? Capsters, you are too smart. Anansi gets home because all of his sons help save him from Fish and Falcon. Now, is that how Ferdinand gets home? No. Those men take Ferdinand home in a cart because he didn't want to fight. And Anansi's sons helped him be safe. And that's how he got home. Put your X's up because that is different. That is... Good job, Kipsters. Let's put that on our Venn diagram so we know what is different about the stories. In the story of Ferdinand, Ferdinand is taken home by the men because he doesn't want to fight. Ferdinand is taken home by the men because he won't fight. That is only true about the story of Ferdinand, so we're only writing it in this part of the Venn diagram. Now, Anansi the spider goes home in a different way. He goes home because, what do his sons do? Oh, that's right, they save him and help him get home. Anansi's sons save him from Fish and Falcon. So the two main characters in these stories, they get home in different ways. They get home in, you got it. Now, those are like two big things that were different about this story, but I want to talk about something a little bit different. These stories are also different because they're in different continents. If remember what continent the story of Anansi is from? Shout it out. Ready, set, go. Yeah, Anansi takes place in the continent Africa. In the continent, now this one might be tricky because we read this book like 2 weeks ago. Where does the story of Ferdinand take place? Which continent? Ready, set, go. Oh my gosh, I cannot trick you, Kipsters. Ferdinand takes place in Europe. It takes place in, say, Europe, Africa. These stories take place in different continents. So I'll write that on our Venn diagram so we know what is different. The story of Ferdinand takes place in Europe. Takes place in Europe. That is only true about the story of Ferdinand, so it goes on this side. And then Anansi the spider takes place in Africa. Takes place in Africa. That is different. That is, Kipsters, you are so good at thinking about what is different and the same about 2 books that you have read. That is what great readers do, and I'm so proud of all you great readers out there. Kipsters, your teachers love you and miss you so much, and we can't wait to see you soon.